Are you with me? So let's say the summary of all of those things is what? Poverty. So it says there's poverty there, there is nakedness there, and there is blindness. Right? Now, poverty means that they are depraved and they are bereaved of what is true substance. Hi. Should we go to the book of Isaiah? Give me Isaiah 55. I'm not sure if it's Jeremiah or Isaiah, but Isaiah 55, verse 1. 55:1. Is that come to the waters? Come to the waters. Okay. Read. Who is there? Read out well. Yeah? Come here to the waters. No, start from verse 1. Oh, everyone that tested, yes. Come ye to the waters. Yes, and ye that has no money, come. Right? Good. Now, it said, ye that have no money, come and buy. That's an irony or a paradox, right? Why? It's because it says you don't have money, but what you are coming to do is a trade, a transaction. You are actually coming to purchase. So what then becomes the currency of your purchase? Right? The currency you used to buy without money is to come. Your response okay. So, but you can hear me loud and clear. So that means I should keep using this. All right. Okay, I should continue. So we are live on the other side. Okay. I thank you for that postscript. That thing has been what is sustaining me. Maybe I should expose it. It has to do with management. May the Lord give you understanding. It's a certain slang that is raining now, and it's a management slang. May the Lord give you understanding. So he said, come to the waters, come and buy without money. Right? So the currency with which you will prosecute that purchase is the currency of your response to the summon to come. So it means if you've come, you have bought. You are not with me. Why? It's because there are people that have money, but we never respond to this thing. Why? So those who have money, but we decide not to respond, are considered poor. Can you see God's metrics? You have money, you have physical substance, but you do not respond to the call to come. So you are poor. I want to show you that's the state of life. It is that there is a call at the waters, at the waterfront. And that call is for the sons of men to come. But there are a generation that have traded glory for what is not profit. You know what? They hear the summon, come, and they will have actually come, but why they don't want to come is because the call to come also has an appendage, there's an attachment. Buy without money. Now, why they will not come is that we have money, and you say, come and buy without money. So let those that don't have money go. Unknown to them, the money in your pocket is not also the substance with which you will buy. I'm trying to show you the equilibrium so that the person that has money and the one that does not have money is the same. What qualifies them and the currency that is common to the both of them is the currency of response to that summon to come. Are you with me? So let the poor ones go. We are here. Let the poor ministries keep doing 5 hours every two Fridays. Let the poor ministries keep holding 10 hours meeting. Let the poor ministries labor in doctrine. Are you seeing it? Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. We are here. Where are the happening things? It says, okay, wow. He said, because you have refused to come, now we'll see the other side. So he says, come and buy without money, right? So is the testing. Read the next verse. Is that verse 2? Okay. Wherefore do you spend money for? Wait, he says, so you spend money for what is not bread, and you labor for what does not satisfy. Continue. See, he said, hearken diligently unto me. The end of hearkening or taking heed is that you will eat what is good. This leads to spiritual diet, but we can't do spiritual diet today because the call was to come to the water. Sorry, you don't eat water, but it says hearken to the one who called at the water. So beyond what the water that you have come to the one who summoned you by the water side. And he has a meal that he also wants to give. Continue. You eat what is good. Yes. Good. He said, let your soul delight itself in fatness. So now, wait, you see fatness here. Now, that miserability or that misery that we spoke of is also a state of being haggard. You are emaciated because you are deprived of nourishment. You can sit down. Are you with me? So the reason why these ones are lacking in nourishment is because they will not come. And because they did not come, they are poor. They are considered as the poor. The poor, according to this standard, are not those that come to the water. Because those that come to the water will come to buy without money. Meaning that the instrument or the currency for their purchase is their test. Okay, let's leave the matter. Now, he said, so we have explained the concept of you are poor, poverty. Right? Now, it says you are naked. I went for a conference at Ogbomoso, held by my spiritual father, the Apostle Bolu Akinpelu, and he was talking about the concept of the embodied realities of the Christ. That every priest that stands before God to minister is recognized by the regalia of priesthood he is clothed in. Right? So you cannot carry priestly business, you cannot carry out priestly business uncovered or covered in a garment that is not priestly. Are you with me? So what God has called you to do, there is a mode. There is a mode that you need to enter into, and that mode is considered a garment. These people in Laodicea do not have that mode. In life, in practice, and in expression. Are you with me? So there is no clothing. And when you begin to find the elements of nakedness, you begin to find insufficiency. Because naked, they first advertise, okay, let's do it. This Bible, are you with me? Yes, sir. Good. Before I used to be burdened that when will you bring the nations to hear this thing? It's him that will decide whether the nations are meant to hear it or not. So, for me, I'm happy that we are few that are hearing this thing. Blessed are your ears that hear these things. Blessed. So, now, let's see the concept of nakedness. And let's see what nakedness will produce in a church. So, you don't only have naked men. You can have a naked congregation. You can have a naked company. Right? You can have a naked church, an unclothed church. Meanwhile, one of the ways to know that a church is still with spot and wrinkles is that they are naked. Nakedness is a wrinkle. Genesis, let us analyze this and interpret the symptom of nakedness. So, nakedness we'll need to go back to the law of first mention, hallowed antiquity. Genesis chapter 3. Let's start from verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doth know in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Verse 7. Let's read together. 1 to go. Stop there. The eyes of them both were opened, and they did what? They saw they were naked, Abby. No. They did what? Now pause and ask yourself a very important question. Why didn't the Bible say they saw? I thought that the opening of eyes should produce optical awareness. Right? It didn't say they saw that they were naked. It said that they what? Knew that they were naked. What it meant is that the activation of this sense opened up fellowship in another layer of consciousness. Now, the first symptom that you found that was attendant to that layer of consciousness was the symptom of fear, not shame. I don't have time. Okay, let's rush further. Where the voice of God, that should be 7, right? 7. What does 7 say? No, and the voice of God walking in the verse 8. Okay, yes, 8. All right, so God now came for accountability report and for checkup, for inspection. Because Adam was to give, the cool of the day arrangement was a feedback buffer. It was a feedback system that God ordained. Are you with me? Not only was it a system of fellowship, it was also a feedback system where Adam was saddled with the responsibility to give God accountability reports of his stewardship. Okay, how did you spend and that's fellowship. How did you spend your day? You know, when your parents come to pick you from school and they are driving, or maybe you entered keke with them, or even bike, and they ask you, how was school today? Did you fight with your friend? Did you, who did your cheeks like this? Who stole your ice lolly? Okay, you're surprised I know ice lolly. I took it once and I regretted it. Ice lolly. Okay. So, are you with me? So all of those interactions in that arrangement. So that's the cool of the day. So it's a fellowship system, right, end to end, and it's also an accountability system. So it came as usual, and Adam now said, God called Adam and said, "What? Where are you? Where art thou?" And Adam said, "I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was what?" Now, you will notice that Adam did not say, "I was ashamed." He said, "I was afraid." So there are two things we have read here that defy the normal process of logical interpretation. They do not follow the due process of interpretation, because the opening of eyes should produce sight, not knowledge. Nakedness should produce shame, not fear. But here you saw that the opening of eyes produced what? Knowledge. And you saw that the consciousness of nakedness produced what? Fear, not shame. So now let's interpret it. Is Laodicea, scripture is what explains scripture. So we are trying to analyze the symptom of Laodicea's ailment. Nakedness is part of the symptom, right? Of a church in departure, a church in compromise. So you will find poverty there, you will find nakedness, you will also find blindness. So let's now go to the second part. So he said, I was afraid, right? Not ashamed, and I hid myself because I was naked. But before then, if you go back to Genesis chapter 3 verse 7 that we read, you will find out that when, okay, read it. And the eyes of them both were open. And they knew that they were naked. So the first thing you see that nakedness produced was labor. Are you with me? Man was not meant to labor in accordance with what he knew. Man was meant to labor in accordance to what he was told. Are you with me? So you don't do what you know, you do what you are told. So the first time man began to operate by what he knew, when nakedness was introduced into the scheme of things. So nakedness produced a feeling of insufficiency. Then insufficiency now opened up the economy of self-sufficiency. You are not with me. It is because a man notices that he is insufficient that he takes up the responsibility and the task to become self-sufficient. Are you with me? So the independence of man started not from when he ate of the tree of life. It started from what the tree of life, tree of the knowledge of good and evil rather, it started from what that tree began to produce in him. Self-sufficiency. So you now find out that man now became innovative. Man became intellectual. He became cerebral. So he now began to take initiative for himself and say, I need this thing. You are not the one that will tell yourself what you need. Because Adam didn't go to God and say, lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely. Then they gave him Eve. God was the one that took initiative and said, it is not good, what? For thee, man, to be alone. I will make for him an helpmate. So the provision of man was not meant to come out of the labors of the knowledge of man. We have people in this church that they don't have money. So let us teach entrepreneurship so that the church can become rich. Remember I said that the philosophy of Laodicea is what? Is what? Riches and increase. Don't forget. Don't forget. I'm trying to show you how to identify 6. 6. The numeral by which the Antichrist will build. 6. That's how to identify number 6. Find out that there is an exchange of godliness for gain. You will find out that the purpose for service is the belly. Oh, I can keep going on and on. Oh my God. You see, we are young people. We don't know anything. But the small God has shown us. It used to make us sad sometimes. That's why when we go for programs, just tell me where my session is. I don't have to be part of the charade. You are not with me. I may be coming with something from God. By the time I stay in that, everything will fly. Many times, stress is not in what you do, it is in where you are. So they will stress the deposits. You go for a program, they will tell you your session is by 5. The program is starting for, sir. was frowning. When his time came and he took the mic, he first roared for 3 minutes. I'm not trying to glorify this house, but we may be small, but I know what God is doing with us. Yes. I vow to God that excitement that is in youth churches, you'll never find it here. If at all we'll be happy, let it be the joy of the Lord that sponsors that. So you can't come to our church and see they are lifting chairs during praise and say, hey, 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 hey. You find that in youth churches, but you can't find it here. Because this is Mount Zion, the city of the living God. There is a way to approach a God who is a consuming fire. There's a way to approach him. So he took the mic and began to thunder in tongues. Ah! Then the first sign that the program was never unto the Lord of hosts is that some people were going out. Then the rest that were there were confused that, what's happening? Then the atmosphere began to surge with presence. Then the guy on the timer now went and cut the time down by half. He had just used, because they say 1 hour, they now reduce it to 40 minutes. So he had just used 2 minutes out of his 40 minutes. It was like 38 minutes. Before my eyes, I kid you and I lie you not, I saw 38 minutes become 12 minutes. Cut down the time. I'm gisting them about your encounter with Cardinal. Oh, we are live. I mentioned that. Sorry. You know, I vowed that this year I will be a good boy. But his words were like fire shot up in my bones. Before my eyes, this man of God session, my son that I sent there, they cut down his time from what? 38 to 12. My heart broke. I looked at him. And he has learnt well. He looked at it, I didn't care. He continued. Then he entered the message of conviction. I began to talk. And 2 people started crying at the back. Then some other people were frowning. Then the 12 minutes, they cut it down again to 8 minutes. By the time you didn't use your time complete now. He now called out some people to pray with them. Some people fell down, were doing geisha spirit. He ignored those ones. Led some to Christ. 2 Yahoo boys came out in that program that were not there for the hypes or the trips. Is that Yahoo boy that came to you himself? He knelt down and held his hand and prayed with him. Because we didn't go to 4 people down. It's drama. It's not drama he went for. And when he was done, he dropped the mic. You will not believe that in that same program, after he left, the speakers that they mounted well, they didn't hang it with rope. They mounted that speaker. It fell and it crushed the laptop they were using to stream. They crushed it. There are programs they would rather not invite us for, because when we step foot in that ministry will never remain. There are churches that will invite us and we shut down after we go. Oh, Jesus. That's a sign of the glory days, not ambience. It's that the terror of God will come back into his church. We are asking for those days to come again, where Ananias will not remain in our midst. The moment you lie, God will have sufficient and robust opportunity, avenue to showcase that he is a consuming fire. So you'll find out that a church that is naked is a church that begins to improvise. They take initiative and innovative, and they substitute what? Instruction for knowledge. They do what they know. They don't do what they are told. Last symptom. We can't do my subject matter today. It is obvious. You are wretched and miserable and poor and blind. Okay, we skipped blindness and we did nakedness, right? Blind and naked. Verse 18, it says, and I counsel thee to buy of me gold, tried where? In the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of your nakedness does not appear. So the 3 things that God will have to extend as the merchandise of mercy to a church that is in departure, a church in compromise, is the merchandise of gold, the merchandise of white raiment, and the merchandise of eye salves. We'll do this one next week. We need to pray. What is gold? What is gold? What is gold? He said, buy of me gold. Refining. The second aspect of that purification is what?